What's good, fam? We back, and let's go and jump into it. This video is about the Angela Ray and Kamala Harris interview. Now we're gonna be a little political. Hey, it is what it is. But yo, check. Once again, like I say, thank you for being here with me. You could be doing anything with your time, but you're here with me because what I do through and through, I just bring you the news with a twist, just my ghetto point of view. I don't just do boxing. I don't just do football. I do it all. I do it all. Let, let's get into it. Okay. Now, for those of y'all don't know what Angela Ray is, I mean, I see on CNN, but I ain't gonna act like I knew everything it was about Angela Ray. I just knew her. But Angela Ray, you can do a Google search like I did. Boom. Yeah. You can see her on CNN arguing against the Republicans. She's supposed to be this Democrat. That's for the Democrat people. They say she served in the Congressional Black Caucus, and like I said, she's always on CNN. Now, she gave an interview for Kamala Harris. Now, for those of y'all that don't know who Kamala Harris is, she's a former top lawyer in the state of California. She has a questionable, like as some would say, even the most cynical, diehard bootlick would say, she has a questionable record. It's a questionable record, especially when it deals to black people, because there's a case where she suppressed information that would have exonerated a black man, got him off death row. She suppressed the information. There was a case where she locked the black mother up because the mother was homeless. The mother and child was homeless, and the child could not go to school, so she locked up under the truancy laws. There are situations to where she extended prison terms to have black people serve longer prison terms so they can serve in the fire brigade. So the wildfires that happen down in California, so they can stop the wildfires in California. And what people don't realize, there are not wildfires, as Professor Black Truth and Black Authority said. Though you can see houses. You can really see houses. Now I saw one clip where they messed up and showed a house behind the flames. It was a big ass house behind the flames. I was like, whoa. But the cases of that. Even if they're not protecting the houses, how you gonna make somebody stay in prison longer to serve on the fire brigade and pay them slave wages? They're not even paid $1. They're not getting paid $1 a day or $1 an hour or whatever to fight fires and risk their lives. But you're gonna talk about all the firefighters that died, but you ain't gonna talk about the prisoners that in the fire brigade. That's what you did to black people. Now, one time did you prosecute a police officer that shot an unarmed black man or woman in California as a top lawyer? Not once. So she has this questionable record. Now, Angela Ray, first question she asked her, not about her plan for black people, not about her plan for the economy, is not about any strategy she's gonna implement or anything about being the first black VP or the first woman VP. None of that. She asked her, how do the AKAs greet each other? That was she asked her.
I can give you this $50,000.
AKA, how do y'all normally greet each other?
Let me run that back.
Consider this family talk.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
This is the first question she's gonna ask her.
Okay. So,
The first question.
You are a proud AKA. How do y'all normally greet each other?
You are a proud AKA. How do y'all normally greet each other? Not about any type of prison reform. Not about her record. Not about health care. Not about better schools. Not about anything. But about how the AKAs greet each other. This is from this serious political pundit, Angela Ray, who's always on CNN. So, just follow me on this, family. If this is the first question Angela Ray is going to ask the Vice President of the United States, or somebody who's trying to be Vice President of the United States, Senator, former Attorney General, former top lawyer in California, now Senator, this is what she's going to ask her. First question, start off the bat. What do they actually think about Angela Ray at CNN? When she on there arguing about Donald Trump, arguing about Republicans, arguing about this, arguing about that. What do they actually think about Angela Rye? If this is the first question they should ask Kamala Harris. I'm saying, who the Vice President Mike Pence right now, find me anywhere, any reporter led off with that question. Or was he even asked that type of question? How do you and your frat brothers greet each other? When he was running for vice president, I'm asking. I'm curious. I'm just curious. Has that happened anywhere other than when some stupid ass shit when Roland Martin asked Hillary Clinton, "Does she know how to weeble wobble?" Well, the fuck that was. But anyway, that's the first thing she asked him. Then she says, "You know, and you and Snoop Dogg got the same birthday." Hold on. She want to say that stupid ass ski weed. But this is the next question she asks. This is the next question she asks Kamala Harris.
Did you know that you and Snoop Dogg share a birthday?
I did.
You and Snoop Dogg share a birthday. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. I want you to think about that. Just think about that. Just think about this. Just think about that. Snoop Dogg. Okay. This interview was just garbage. Straight trash. Like I thought. But I want to get to the part about her black agenda.
Called on the phone was my assistant.
Her black
As we sit here thinking about her heroic career, why?
Her black
She's
agenda.
the first woman.
Her black and while I'm thinking about her black agenda, this Angela Ray, this clown Angela Ray, with this wannabe black person Kamala Harris, is gonna invoke RBG with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is RBG. For those of us that's in the know, that's blasphemous. Ruth Bader, what is Ruth? For those that don't know, RBG means red, black, and green. Some people want to say Pan-Africanism, Pan-African colors. I say colors of the motherland. Colors that all black people know. Red, black, and green. Red for the blood spilled. Black for the people, green for the land. That's our flag. And they're going to say Ruth Bader Ginsburg or RBG. That's what Angela Ray and Kamala Harris said. Now, the thing about Ruth Bader Ginsburg is, I want to ask people, because a lot of black people don't know who the hell she is. A Supreme Court justice has just died. In her whole entire time in law, what has she done for black people? But this is somebody that Kamala Harris looks up to. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Supreme Court Justice. What has she done for black people? A lot of y'all say, well, hell, a lot of them ain't done nothing for black people. Exactly. But Kamala Harris, who's allegedly black now, that's somebody she looks up to. So if this lady has not done nothing for black people, and Kamala Harris, who's known for locking up black people, is running for vice president, and Kamala Harris looks up to the same lady, why are you voting for her again? But I digress. We back on this interview. I'm trying to find her black agenda.
What are you thinking about? Who would be some great women?
And then they try to slide this slick shit in. We're just gonna appoint a black female for the Supreme Court justice. It's gonna be the first black woman Supreme Court justice. See, that's that monkey shit. Now some females, they gonna fall for it. Some of you feminists, men ain't shit, Wish they had a man. Ass females, y'all gonna fall for this shit. Y'all gonna fall for this shit. And it's sad. Hey, like they say, everybody ain't gonna make it. Just like they got some soft shoe, buttermilk biscuit eating coons like Stephen A. Smith, who I'm gonna get on my next video. But we back on this one right here. I'm trying to find her black agenda.
As well as some of the people who are the most civic minded. Sometimes when who have earned the right to be on a list.
Other one, after mourning the loss of Breonna Taylor.
We ain't gonna speak on yes, Breonna Taylor. Before we get to the black agenda.
That's why she became
Breonna Taylor. Hold on. We're gonna get to the Breonna Taylor thing. And, I want to see the question. She asked her, would she pursue charges?
For bullets shot into the home prosecutor, would you have pressed charges against the 3 officers for bullets of her white neighbor, but not bullets? RNC spoke her name.
Now check, family. I want y'all to listen to what Angela Ray's gonna ask her. Now she be giving the bullshit questions thus far in the interview. 16 minutes in, bullshit questions. And I've been shooting off going left field for 11 minutes. But check this shit out here. She's going to ask her. Will she pursue charges against the guys against the cops in the Breonna Taylor case? Check this out. Listen.
And then there are these charges for bullets shot into the home of her white neighbor, but not bullets. So speaking of justice, I know that you attended at least one that I know of. One where you then there are these
okay, here we go.
For bullets shot into the home of her white neighbor, but not bullets that killed Breonna Taylor. Given the fact that you were a prosecutor, would you have pressed charges against the 3 officers involved in the case?
Well, I don't know all the details of the case, but I will say this, that there needs to be transparency about what happened, and that family and that community deserve justice.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line.
So speaking of justice,
Okay. Now, I don't know about y'all. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, like I told y'all before. But when she asked her directly, would she pursue charges? She said, first of all, she got to know the entire case. It's either yes or no. Yes or no. I know the case. I'm going to get to it in my next video. But yes or no, prosecutor. Without you knowing anything, would you pursue charges? Knowing what you know, would you pursue charges right now against the police officers? Knowing that they used a no-knock search warrant. Knowing that they killed Breonna Taylor. Knowing she didn't have any drugs. Knowing all this, would you have pursued charges against the police? And what this helpful say? First, we gotta have transparency. We gotta have transparency. Even when we had transparency, don't nobody get prosecuted. When the transparency with Tamir Rice, when transparency with Freddie Gray, I'm saying, was it transparency? George Floyd, was it transparency? Was it transparency? Crutch in Tulsa, was it transparency? I'm just... But she didn't even answer the question. I shouldn't even say none of that. She didn't even answer the question. She didn't say yes or no. That's the issue. She asked her directly, would you pursue charges? Yes or no. Simple. She didn't answer the question. And Angela Ray let her ass off too, say, And
the rest of the community,
her family deserves justice. What I
They
mean?
deserve justice then, they deserve justice today, and they deserve justice.
For bullets shot into the home of her white neighbor,
I'm
but
saying,
not
but hold on,
bullets.
hold on.
That family and that
Let's
We
get something
went
else.
to actually with
that because they have, and the brill was an inflection point,
Hold on.
has been a counter in the way that they've been enforced. University, I
but
was
hold on.
protesting, I think, a community and
But hold on, I want to get to
around
it.
civil rights.
Hold on. Okay, I finally
of
found it.
economic justice.
Check this out.
Donald Trump wrote out today a $500 billion economic justice plan for Black Americans. What I think is important is for people to hear some of your commitments, some of Joe Biden's commitments to Black folks, as people try to say, right? It's the lesser of two evils again. It's the same thing we heard in 2016. How can you just refute that outright? How is this not the lesser
making a
of
video,
two
Mom.
evils after 200,000 and counting people have died from coronavirus in this country at the hands of this irresponsible president? That's not NAACP's words, those are mine. But I do want to point that out when you talk about what's happened with COVID and the response that you all would have, when you talk about his $500 billion plan and the response that you all would have specifically to Black people, thinking about Alicia's Black to the Future, Black Agenda 2020, thinking about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. Mm-hmm. Some people are saying, in order to turn out, Senator Harris, I need to know what you're going to do for me. What do I get in return for my vote? How do you respond to that?
That's absolutely right. And people have a right to have their vote earned.
Okay. We ain't gonna talk about how she threw the coronavirus in on what she gonna do for Black people. We ain't gonna talk about how she threw that bullshit in to convolute the question and make it all long and shit so you can forget what the fuck the question's all about. But she got back around to it and listen to Senator Harris's answer. I just want y'all to listen to this. Just listen to this.
If those carotid and chokeholds had been banned.
I pressed the wrong button. Hold on, I fucked up again. Hold on.
And obviously peacefully. That's absolutely right. And people have a right to have their vote earned. Nobody should be saying to anybody, and especially to our folks, that you're supposed to vote for us. That's insulting. We need to earn the vote. And so let's talk about the economic piece. And I'm not going to even go into the fact that, by the way, Donald Trump refuses to say Black Lives Matter.
Right.
And Joe Biden has said it.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Just because Donald Trump can't say Black Lives Matter. And Joe Biden said it. God. But let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. I'm trying to figure out how to hold this. Hey, for those that tech savvy, please reach out to me, give me a link or something so I can do a split screen share or something. But anyway, let's get back to it.
But let's put that aside. In terms of the proactive, right, earning the vote. One of the things that is very important to Joe Biden and certainly to all of us is that we understand, when you talk about criminal justice, we've got to reimagine public safety and how we achieve it. And here's what I mean. If you go into any upper middle class neighborhood in America, you will not see the kind of police presence you see in other neighborhoods. But what you will see are well-funded public schools. What you will see are high rates of home ownership. What you will see are small businesses that have access to capital. What you will see are communities that can get health care and afford it, including mental health care. What you will see are people who have jobs that allow them to get through the end of the month without worrying about whether they can feed their children. Mm-hmm. Healthy communities are safe communities. So it is an outdated way of thinking to think the way you create safe communities is only by putting more police officers on the street.
She still ain't answered the question. But with that part, she's saying it's an outdated way to think to make everything safe by putting more police officers in the street. Didn't she say that's what she wanted to do? Didn't she say that's not the answer, getting rid of police? Wasn't that a couple years ago she saying she need more police? If she could, she'd put more police on the street. But I digress. Let's continue. Let's see if she's going to answer the question.
You want to see safe communities? Invest in the health and well-being of those communities. So I say all that to say that part of what our plan is about $150 billion going into low-interest loans and access to capital with an emphasis on Black-owned and minority-owned businesses. We know that our...
Hold up. Hold on. Did she say $15 billion? They'll be accessible to Black and minority-owned businesses. Is that what she said? Hold, let me see if I can bring that back. Can't bring that back, DJ. Can't bring that back.
Going into low-interest loans and access to capital with an emphasis on Black-owned and minority-owned businesses.
With an emphasis on Black-owned and minority-owned businesses. Now, would this be the same Black and minority-owned businesses that Donald J. Trump put out that $200 billion for? Was that $200 billion? $200 trillion? Whatever. They made their first bailout too. But none of the but they only went to big businesses. Then he did it again. But still, a lot of Black businesses said they couldn't access the money. So it's another one of those. But once again, I appreciate that it's for Black and minorities. So it's for everybody that's not white. Well, my bad. There's everybody that's not white. Because even some white person somewhere gonna be a minority, something, because they can be something, and they're gonna be some type of minority. But still, the question was, what is it gonna do to benefit Black people? You said Black and minorities. No. The question is Black. What's the Black agenda? But let her continue.
We know that our small businesses are part of the lifeblood of our communities. I was just in Detroit, 7 Mile Road, right? You can go to any city in America and see, usually it's called MLK Way. You will see all of those businesses and what they are in terms of those leaders being not only business leaders, but civic leaders and community leaders, right? So the infusion of capital and access to capital for our small businesses, knowing, and wherever they are, and I'm joking about MLK Way, you know what I'm saying, right? But that it is, say what?
I said, no, that's real though.
That's real though. MLK Way. MLK Way, that's real though. But yet and still. But this Angela Ray talking about that's real though. This supposed to be a journalist that's interviewing the someone that could possibly be vice president of the United States. But that's real though. Once again, what do they think about at CNN? What do they think about Angela Ray? Angela Ray. What do they think about her? And she's one of these Black pundits that they have on all the time. It's about 3 or 4 of them they have on all the time, and she one of them. So if this is what she's saying, what do you think they think about her reporting skills? What do you think they think about her seriously? Do you think they take her seriously? So why, if they don't take her seriously, why is she giving an interview for Kamala Harris? Oh. Probably went over a lot of y'all heads, but anyway. Let's continue.
Except for from it's gentrified now, but it's real.
Right. But because we have such great entrepreneurial spirit, and it is not the lack of that, it is the lack of access to capital that has held those businesses back. So access to capital, home ownership. I mean, we know in terms of the history of our country, nobody got 40 acres and a mule. We had a history of redlining. We had a history of, after World War II, when all those mostly men came back from war. The government said, we're going to make this greatest generation a strong middle class, and they gave federal support for people to engage in home ownership, but black servicemen were pretty much left out, right? So when you saw a real infusion of capital around home ownership, the black community didn't get that either. And so we also know that home ownership is one of the greatest sources of wealth of any American family, and also the greatest sources of intergenerational wealth, meaning grandmother passes it down to the children who pass it down to the grandchildren. So that's going to be about a $15,000 tax credit to help first-time homeowners put for down payment or closing costs to buy a home. Title I funding, tripling Title I funding, so that Title I funding is about schools, and in particular, schools that are in low tax-based communities, which are the least funded and tend to have the most of our children. It's about saying that we need to deal with access to health care, one of the biggest impediments to allowing people to not only be healthy, but to thrive. Donald Trump is in court right now, in the Supreme Court with his boy Bill Barr, trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act that President Obama, together with Vice President Biden, created, that brought health care to over 20 million people, including saying that you cannot ban people with pre-existing conditions like...
Okay. All this cute about what Donald Trump doing, but she asked you, what were you gonna do for black people? And all I heard was $15 billion to black and minority businesses. That's not black people. That's everybody that's non-white. That's not black people. Then you said $15,000 a loan to first-time homeowners. $15,000 for first-time homeowners. $15,000 for a first-time home. First of all, what kind of house you gonna get for $15,000? First, that's my first question. That's my first question. Huh? Oh, my wife told me that $15,000 goes towards the closing costs. So what is $15,000 gonna do towards a house? That ain't shit. That's nothing. The down payment. That's it. That's it. Okay. Like I said, it's for nothing. Nothing. So because you can't get the down payment or the closing costs on the house, you shouldn't get the motherfucking house. But she said $15,000 for first-time home buyers. She ain't say nothing. Still, what are you gonna do for black people? Specifically black people. Nothing. She has no black agenda. And that took 29 minutes for her to even get to that. 29 minutes of bullshit. And she got to that, and that was her answer. Really? Really? That's her black agenda. No black agenda. And people say, well, get Trump out of office. Okay. So if I get Trump out of office because he's racist, what do you think they gonna do? Trump ain't doing shit for black people. Shit, they ain't gonna do shit for black people. The difference is they lock up black people. Kamala Harris locks up black people. Angela Ray asked her, would she pursue charges against the police in Breonna Taylor's case? She gonna say, we gotta know the facts. Bitch, we gotta know the facts. I don't know if I had that, but let me see.
Her spirit and her nature.
Let me see. I think I put that in there.
A black woman to the Supreme Court.
They talking about black women Supreme Court.
With us,
and about Breonna Taylor.
You were a prosecutor. Would you have pressed charges against the 3 officers involved in the case?
Well, I don't know all the details of the case, but I will say this, that there needs to be transparency about what happened, and that family and that community deserve justice. Yeah. And And that's just the bottom line.
Okay, that was what she said. September 25th, 2020. Today's 26th. That was yesterday. So she don't know all the facts in that case. But she supposed to be at the Black Lives Matter movements and rallies and shit. That's what they show you. But she asked her specifically. And what'd she say? But black people gonna be laying down the droves just to vote for her. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. This interview is crazy. Her answers are crazy. She has no black agenda. She's not gonna persecute she's not gonna pursue any charges against the cops. They're asking about Snoop Dogg and her favorite rapper and I'm just anybody that says vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they're a clown. You're a clown. It's official. You're a clown. You're a clown. Why? Why? I'm asking why. Why should I get up, go outside, and vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Just because Donald Trump racist? Shit, they racist. The only thing I know is Donald Trump ain't liking black people up. They have locked black people up. They have passed laws to lock black people up. They have suppressed evidence to keep black people on death row. They kept black people in prison to serve on fire brigades. They didn't pursue charges against cops. But you mad at Donald Trump because he said there were some fine individuals in Charlottesville on both sides? You mad because he said, you sons of bitches better stand for my flag? You mad at that? But you ain't mad at the actual person that's sanctioning the killing of black men, women, and children when they were district attorney. You're not mad at the person that wrote a bill into law that locks up someone after their third offense, give them 20 years of life. And we know that disproportionately affects black people. Because we disproportionately fill up the prison system. Disproportionately. And if you don't know that's a fact, you's a fucking moron. But I'm just babbling. Like I said, the interview was trash. But what did I expect from Angela Shea Butter, Bootlick, I wanna be with Massa, I wanna be in the house looking nigga, and Kamala Harris. But hey, we're gonna come back with another one. I really gotta get to the Stephen A. Smith John. Stephen A. Smith from the Django. Stephen at the Django. Cause that nigga there. But until then, peace.